Hello everyone, this is Cesar from CesarUSA.com. This is a video it's about Colombia. I have made several videos about Colombia with different topics, normally about safety. Uh, Colombia has a history of issues with safety, especially with guerrillas and petty crime and overall corruption, things like that. So this particular video is to tell you more about other subjects such as where things are located and things like that, and some other information. Anyway, Colombia is located on the east side of South America and the northeast side of South America, next to Venezuela. This is the border with Venezuela. Then Ecuador, Peru, and Brazil, and Panama. Those are basically the borders. The good thing about Colombia, or for Colombia, is that Colombia has access to two seas, Atlantic Sea and Pacific Sea. Atlantic Pacific Sea. Very easy that you can a ship could come into Panama and go down here and bring something to Cali or whatever on this side, or can bring the ship could come over here, and then the goods could come to the top part of Colombia. um, uh, in regards to tourists who want to come to Colombia, let's say they're coming from Mexico, United States, or Europe, whichever other place they want to come from. Normally, say coming from the United States, a good way to, or normally a lot of people will come from Florida or New York. Uh, they may come from Houston. Those are important places where the people will travel from the United States to Colombia. It could be Los Angeles. Not too many people come from Hawaii, which is pretty far. Hawaii, you had to actually travel to United States, say to Los Angeles or somewhere else, and from Los Angeles to some other state like Texas or New York, and then go to Colombia. So it's a pretty long trip. I used to live in Hawaii. But in general, people who want to come from United States will be curious people who want to look for something different. They are curious, whatever. Um, and then they particularly choose, most of the time they choose Medellin or Bogota or both and the coast. They may decide to go to Cartagena or Santa Marta. They may go to Cali sometimes. They're curious about other cities. There is other places they can go to in secondary trips, but those are the main ones. They may decide to go to other towns, say Manizales, Pereira, things like that. I've never been in Villavicencio, but I love the music, the dance. That's a beautiful joropo, which is shared with Venezuela. The joropo is music that is very entertaining. The dancing is very entertaining, especially like the fast joropo. They call them joropo joropo recio. It's very fast dancing, pretty. It requires a lot of effort because you have to really dance really fast. So it's like tap. You have to tap the race at pretty high speed. It's a lot of effort. Let me see what else I have here. If you have more information about traveling to Colombia, you can or safety tips, you can visit my channel CUSA space INT. Safety tips in English and Spanish. Maybe you're bilingual, so you could do that, or you want to learn some English. I mean Spanish. For example, I have some courses for people who want to learn English, or people who, you know, uh, for people who want to learn English, but it does have Spanish in there, so maybe you want to take a look anyway. Even though this is especially for people wanting to learn English, it will have both translations. So because if you come to Colombia, you should bring a kind of a list of important phrases that you will need. So if you're in a rush, You keep it in a, you have it in a kind of sections. You could be a section for, say, the important things such as where is the bathroom, or time, or the important things for you. So, uh, where is the nearest hotel, things like that. You can always get a Google Translate. The good thing about Google Translate is that allows you to translate text. It will allow you to translate documents. You type so, or you can just type in here, and it will do it. And also it has sound. If so, you should install it in your cell phone, and then you basically say something, and it will translate it for you. And then and you have them reply in Spanish, and it will translate into English. So it's fantastic. So you should have that installed in your cell phone for easy access if you travel to a Spanish-speaking country or some other country. So remember to watch the videos related to what you're looking for. It has a tabs, I mean tips, especially about scams, things like that. That happen not only in Colombia but in the United States, everywhere. So there's a major situation going on with scams in the United States. People are losing money from the bank. Uh, not by the bank, but money in the bank. They look into the account, and somebody actually got access to the account and took the money. So be very careful with using ATM cards, giving it out to pay for stuff. It's better to carry some cash and pay cash. So if you get robbed, you get robbed maybe $500, whatever. But if you get your car stolen or your information, they could empty your bank account, which could be thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So better to lose 500 than thousands. You know what I'm saying? So I was telling in a previous videos that what you can do is have two accounts, one that you keep very safe and not with you, and another one that is petty cash, and then you can run to your cell phone and transfer money from one to the other. If they steal your phone, then that's a major thing, so you should have a password in your cell phone. A good password, not an easy to guess password like 12345. No, that's easy to guess. Or sometimes they use a whip. It's a drawing, so it's something that is not easy to guess. Sometimes some people make an L or a U or things like that that anybody can guess. So make sure it has a strong password. Anyway, let me continue. Let's talk about Colombia a little bit. Of course, you can find this one on Wikipedia, so I don't need to read it for you. So, but if you want more information about that, you can read about it. It has 32 departments, meaning states. It has 32 states. The capital district is Bogota, which is the largest city, hosting the main financial and cultural hub. Other major cities include Medellin, Cali, Barranquilla, Cartagena, Santa Marta, Cúcuta, Ibagué. It's actually pronounced Ibagué in Spanish, Villavicencio, and Bucaramanga. So it has the main language, official language is Spanish. Uh, some people speak English, but not very fluently. Most people will speak English, but not very fluently. So you may find some people who speak English, say from universities. So maybe you're trying to get somebody who speaks English. Could be you can look for somebody who looks like a college student. There's more chance that they will know some English than say look for an elderly person that maybe doesn't look like she very educated or something like that. And maybe you go to the coast, touristic areas. You will have some more people there, some knowing some few words here and there because they work with tourists all the time. So they start learning little phrases here and there. The population is generally Latino looking and blacks. That's the main colors. Normally white, Hispanic color skin, or black, or kind of tan color, which is kind of in between. So Afro-Colombians, some indigenous. If you go to indigenous areas such as the Amazon. Then you will find a lot of indigenous, and then there's other ones, but in lesser amounts, very lesser amounts. The religion is, to me, it's Catholic, Christianity, Christian. That's the main one. Current president is Gustavo Petro. Vice president is Francia Marquez. They are leftists. They they are not doing too well in the scores. They're not. They're happy. The people are not very happy with how they're doing things here. So maybe they get eventually thrown out. I'm not sure yet. They're actually undergoing some legal situations regards to the number of votes. Uh, People think that votes were bought to win the election, so that could be a major cause for losing the presidency. But let's see what happens. That got under investigation. I mean, the president is under investigation for that, or not? Maybe not officially yet, but people next to him that were getting the votes are being investigated. Anyway, so nothing until it gets proven. Geography is mountainous in the Andean region, meaning that this part of it has full of mountains. So sometimes to cross from one to the other one, you have to go up by car. It could get time consuming because if you want to cross from one side to the other one, or you want to go drive this way like that. Anyway, the climate is pretty nice. The weather is very nice. It has some different zones that are much hotter than others. I'm gonna show you some maps later. It has a lot of diversity of flowers. Colombia is a major exporter of flowers. So coffee, of course, you know that. It does export some other things like minerals, things like that. Let me look at some bigger maps. This is actually a good size map. See what is this one? This one is more colorful. But I think I have to scroll it this way. So this is the coast, Santa Marta, Rio Hacha. La Guajira right now is having trouble because of the heat. This is probably one of the hottest sun in Colombia, very hot. So they're having trouble with the heat and the water because they don't get a lot of water here. It's very dry. Santa Marta is very hot, but very touristy because it's by the sea. They are also by the sea, but it's much drier in here. Here, Santa Marta has mountains in some of the areas over here, so it's a good combination of the beach and plus mountains. So you could go to the beach and maybe next day or in the afternoon you go take a bus to the mountains, and then in the mountains you will go to a nice river and cruise in the river, and they will take you to the sea. You know, so it's very interesting. Barranquilla is extremely hot too, very hot temperature, and less touristic, but it's a good sized city. But most of the tourists go to Cartagena and Santa Marta. Those are the nicer looking. Cartagena, you probably know that it has the border over here, which has a lot of touristic things to see. Having been in some of those states, Córdoba, 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 Sucre, Bolívar, North Santander. I have been in Cucuta. It's very hot temperature. It's a major cross point for Venezuelans to come to Colombia. Colombians go to Venezuela, so it's a major border crossing city. Bucaramanga is kind of like in third, fourth place in regards to importance for the country. Medellin second place. Bogota, Cundinamarca first place as the capital. Colombia is the capital. But people may not like that. Bogota's cooler. Some people love cold instead of warmer, so they may like this temperature better. But it's more rain. Bogota rains more. Traffic is heavy. In general, it's heavy traffic, but it's pretty large. So there will be areas that you will not get as much traffic. Manizales is small, it's a small city, but it's up in the mountain. The good thing about Manizales is that it has a lot of universities. For some people who live in Colombia and they want to start a university, many of them choose to go to Manizales to study there. It's kind of cold, so if you prefer to study in the cold than in the heat, Manizales is a good place. But it does rain. Caldas is next to Medellin, so a lot of people, when they want to go to Pereira, they go through Caldas, and or something like, they will go like this, Manizales and Pereira. So they will go like this one, yeah, this one, Manizales and Pereira. Risaralda. Pereira is next is a part of Risaralda, which is another state. And so this is kind of the coffee zone because they are major producers of coffee. Yeah, several states are Antioquia also, which is Medellin is part of Antioquia. They are also coffee producers. Valle del Cauca, Santiago de Cali. Cali is a major important city. That'll be like a third in importance. And then it will be Bucaramanga. This is the capital of the salsa dancing. Very important. A lot of people go there too for dance competitions, things like that. Some people decide to go to Ecuador and may take a bus all the way from, say, Medellin and go through Cali, Popayán, and keep going down to all the way to the border, Pasto, and then they will cross. Okay, this Putumayo, this is pretty much Amazon area. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I could, make it smaller. This is actually the Department of Amazons. So this is pretty much the Amazon over here area. I had some friends who went to the Amazon, stayed in a local place, things like that, went on a canoe, things like that. Guaviare right now is having issues with guerrillas there, and those areas, all of these mountainous, unexplored areas, or hardly explored areas, have a good number of guerrillas, so that is not recommended for tourists to go there. You will get kidnapped. Meta, I wanted to go Villavicencio because of the music I told you about it earlier. Casanare, Boyacá, Santander, Arauca is still having issues with the guerrillas. So recommendations to go to the major cities that are not in warnings for guerrillas. Even Antioquia has some issues for guerrilla, which is where Medellin is at, but not the actual city. Most of the time the issues will be in the mountain areas, not in the main city. Not much though. Say Medellin should be safe from guerrilla. You know, there's military, there's police, things like that, in large amounts. So the guerrilla may go, say, over here. You know what I'm saying? Like in mountains that is less explored. You know, they are guerrillas in those areas. So if you want to go north of Antioquia, maybe not safe. You know what I'm saying? It's not safe. But you could go to the west, to Guatapé, things like that. That's safe. Yeah, those. But if you want to go say to the Chocó, and no, it's not too safe because there's guerrilla there. This is the Andean, the Cordillera. It's called Cordillera, which is a mountain area, which covers quite a bit of the area of Colombia. This part will be the Santa Marta zone, which has some mountains there too. Here is another map. I tried to pick multiple maps so you can look at different things. Haven't been here, so this zones over here are not to explore, not too far. This is mountainous mountains, rivers, a lot of nature. Guaviare is not safe. Some areas, they are hardly explored. They may have some guerrilla there. So even in Pasto, there are some guerrilla there. Valle del Cauca. Problem is there is a lot of crime, especially in the area here by the beach, because it will be trafficking and then to export. So this could be have some issues, quite a bit of issues. Okay, I mean you can visit the Cali and go around, go to nightclubs and stuff, but there is a higher level of crime in Cali than say Medellin. Pereira is a nice city, it's small, but not a huge lot of things to do. You can probably in a couple of days to 3 days you should be okay. Not a month or 2 months because it's not as big of a city. Arauca is not too safe in my opinion. There's some areas there. Yeah, I haven't heard much news about Vichada, Guainia. Casanare, not for what I have heard, is not safe. Boyacá should be okay. Tonga should be okay, but I haven't really gone. So try to avoid mountainous, desolate areas. Try to stay in the capital, but in the city itself, not up in the mountains, away from everybody. You know. Let's go. So let's see what else I have here. They invite you to visit my website, cesarusa.com. They have a nice music. Anyway, these are musicians that I promote. They actually play at a restaurant, and they do private events. This is one of other pages that I have at cesarusa.com that has useful links, including links to the local newspapers that are in Spanish, but you can use Google Translate to translate the pages. Maybe some will translate, the other ones not. This is the local newspaper, Que Hubo, El Espectador. Anyway, banks, important banks is that there is Bank Colombia. One way that you can do when you're here, you can transfer money through World Remit, which is a place, a website that you can transfer money from. You basically open an account, and then you pay with a debit card or credit card. Basically, what you do is you open an account and then you send money to yourself in Colombia. So once you have the account set up, approved, and everything working, you can come to Colombia, and then you send money to yourself, and you select money pickup. So when you select money pickup, they will do the transfer, and you go to the bank and provide the code. And since the World Remit provides the information that you gave them, they know who you are, and they just provide the ID, and they give you the money in pesos, Colombian pesos. They're not gonna give you the US dollar, they give you Colombian pesos. They are in partners with Bancolombia and Davivienda. So Bancolombia will be a place where with many branches, bank with many branches where you can actually withdraw money. If you open an account in Bancolombia, which I don't think is going to be that easy, because they may require some documents, maybe for a foreigner will be more difficult. But if you eventually move to Colombia, you can actually, instead of do money pickup, you will do bank transfer, and it will pay a better rate. Warren right now is not charging a fee for the transfers. It's less expensive than Western Union. It pays the dollar much better than Western Union. So World Remit would be the choice for transferring money to South America or most anywhere. This is another bank. This Davivienda is another bank that you can transfer money to from World Remit. So that's two major banks. I mean, of course, they have other banks. This Bank of Bogota, where you can withdraw money from the ATM. And some say have a limit per transaction. Say from a US phone, from a US card, the maximum will maybe 600,000 pesos, but they would charge you like 25,000 pesos each time that you withdraw. But if you do, instead of just withdrawing little by little like that, because it's gonna be like $200 each time that you 200 plus the fee, which is could be like what 29,000 pesos. It could be like $8 for the transfer each time, but it's for only $200 or whatever. Yeah, $200. So it's not much. So you say you want $600, it's gonna cost you 8 times 3, $24 to withdraw money. Well, if you do World Remit, they will pay you a good dollar amount, and there is no fee. So they will charge you a little bit of a conversion rate, but it's going to be much less fees than if you do ATM debits. Or you can just bring dollars and do a currency exchange. It's another bank, Bank of Santander. Citibank. There's actually Colombia has a Citibank offices, but they're not actually for ATM withdrawals. I mean, they do have ATM machines, but it's not really for opening bank accounts. But you can actually withdraw money with Citibank branches in Colombia. So that's an option right there. These are some Colombia maps. You can actually look at different maps and pick which one seems like more what you're looking for. Yes, actually, I was looking for some. Yeah, these are the ones for the topographical, shows you the rivers and things like that. And you can always pick the one that you prefer. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's the basics for Colombia. I mean, if you want more information, please you send me a message, but explain what is it that you're actually looking for. Maybe you're looking for meeting your love partner, maybe you're alone feeling lonely. So maybe you need assistance, travel assistance, maybe you want to do investment, maybe you want to retire and move out of your country, want to move to somewhere in the South America. So you're considering Colombia as one of those places. We can actually talk and I can give you some information. All right. So remember, this is cesarusa.com. We do interpreting, language interpreting. If you type interpreting in the search box, you will find this explanation that is that we provide translation and interpreting services between English and Spanish. We also refer bilingual and Spanish only tour guides. So basically, we do have tour guides. Some only speak Spanish, but they know the city. Or you can have an English speaking tour guide show you around. So that's one. Or we can translate documents. Say you need to translate a document for whatever, for your visa, for something that you need. Just let us know. All right. We also provide assistance with real estate. Say you need to buy a place or rent a place. You need some assistance. We do provide Airbnb locations, etc. Okay, I better go. Take care. Bye.